Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And today we have a very, very, very exciting episode for you today. Now, we have a very special guest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's the second character that we've interviewed from Dino Charge. So we are just Dino charging it up. Dynamite! We are definitely Dino charging it up. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and introduce the actor who played Prince Philip, Mr. Jarred Blakiston. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'm
No
glad
problem.
to be asked.
Of course. Are you kidding?
Right?
Like, of course we'd ask you. Like, that's amazing. Thank you for accepting it. We are truly honored for you to be here with
Of course.
us.
Extremely.
Of course. No, it's a pleasure. I saw that Claire did an interview with you guys recently.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, Lena, you sent me the link. You sent me the link to your Snapchat.
Yes,
So
yes.
I had a look and I saw that Claire was on. So it's an honor to be the second Dino Charge
Oh, amazing.
interviewee. And like I said to you guys earlier, I haven't done any interviews really about my time on Power Rangers. So, it was a while ago now that we filmed Dino Charge. So, it's going to be fun to kind of reflect on that time and see what I can remember because, like I said, it was a while ago, but I'm glad to be here.
No, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. So, okay, and just by the way, I just want to make sure, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, I mean, everyone says I say it's Blakiston is how you pronounce my surname. But everyone says Blakiston and it's fine. Potato.
Well, that's the reason why I asked, because I'm
Yeah.
I want to make sure we get this right.
Cool, thank you for asking. Yeah, no, so it's Blakiston is how you'd say it.
Blakiston.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Blakiston. All right. So just going ahead and jumping right into it. So I understand you're from New Zealand, and obviously you can tell by the accent.
Yes, I'm from
That lovely accent.
Yeah, Auckland, New Zealand.
What was it like growing up for you as a kid in New Zealand?
It was, I mean, that's all I've ever really known, but it was, it's a beautiful country. I was born and raised and still live in Auckland, which is the biggest city in New Zealand. There's about 1 million people.
Oh, wow.
And so, from an early age, I kind of realized that I loved performing and loved acting and started taking acting classes. That was kind of what I did as a kid, and I started to pursue it professionally when I was maybe in my early teens. I started auditioning for things and working a little bit here and there and going to school at the same time. And so I had a really pleasant upbringing. New Zealand's a beautiful country. I don't know if you guys have ever been here, but I mean, you can see it on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
They make great use of the landscapes. I had a really nice childhood growing up in New Zealand.
Quick question.
Nice.
Quick question. Since you started acting pretty early and you've always been in New Zealand, have you ever auditioned for Hercules or Xena or anything like that?
No, I was probably. I think that had finished just before I started. It was a little bit before my time.
Okay.
But I remember auditioning for Power Rangers in maybe when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what season it would have been, but I auditioned for a naughty kid who was chucking things at someone. I can't, it was so long ago. It would have been 2003.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been up there at the beginning of the New Zealand filming era.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
That's
crazy.
what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get the part, but that's okay.
But that's okay. He got a better part.
I didn't go for any of the Hercules or Xena sort of stuff. I mean, I would have been probably too young as well at the time anyway.
I guess so.
Mm,
Yeah.
gotcha. Now, speaking of, actually, when you were mentioning Power Rangers and everything, did you watch the show at all before, when you were younger?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't even know if it played in New Zealand at the time that I was growing up. I remember I watched quite a bit of Beetleborgs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I feel we had Beetleborgs. I honestly, I don't think that we had Power Rangers. I don't think it aired. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I knew what it was.
All right. Hey now. You watch Beetleborgs and everything. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, who doesn't love Beetleborgs? So when you got the part of Power Rangers and everything, when you started auditioning for it and everything, how was the auditioning for the show?
The auditioning was pretty standard. I mean, I'd auditioned for the show before, for a season before Dino Charge.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every actor my age in New Zealand tends to go in for it. It's not, I wouldn't call it a cattle call, but it's like you go in reading generic sides, like either there's like a male side and a female side, and you're not auditioning for any character in particular at that point in time. So I think I went in, it was for the Megaforce season. That was the first time I auditioned to play a Power Ranger, and I went in for that. And I think it then got pushed back, production did. So it kind of withered away, and then it came back maybe 4 months later. So I auditioned again, and I got a call back for that season. And then obviously didn't get cast. And then I came in for another character, which was just a guest character. And from that, they then offered me like a tiny part in Megaforce. So that was my first experience of acting in Power Rangers. And so that would have been 2012. And then I think it was 2014 that I went in for Dino Charge. And again, I went in just reading generic male sides and then was called back. And then obviously found out I didn't get the part. But about maybe 3 weeks later, I got a call from my agent who said that the casting office in New Zealand was about to brief out this new role, which they were describing as the Prince Ranger. And I guess because I'd auditioned previously, either the producers or the casting office had me in mind. And so they were yet to brief it out, but they said, when we do, we want Jarred to come in to read for the role. And then I think it was a fairly quick turnaround. I think the following Monday I went in, read the same sides that they'd auditioned us with earlier, but this time they asked if I could do it in a British accent, because of course it was previously we were auditioning in American accent. And so I auditioned, and I remember thinking this is going really badly, but the casting director, he kept getting me to do it until he got what he wanted. So I feel like they because of the work I'd done in previous audition rounds, they had me in mind, and so he kept working me until he got what he or the producers wanted, because he knew that he must have known that I was kind of, they had me in mind. And so anyway, I did that audition, and then maybe like 2 weeks later, I got another call saying that, they wanted to screen test me. So I went out to the studio. They hadn't started filming yet. So I think they were just gearing up to start filming. And and they kind of costumed me. At that stage, they didn't really know what the character was going to wear. So I feel like I was wearing something kind of reminiscent of like a Russell Brand. Like it was quite quirky, like the costume that they put me in. I was wearing like silver shoes and like a hat. It was really crazy. I mean, they hadn't yet kind of formalized what they envisioned for the character of Prince Philip. I don't even know if the character was called Prince Philip at that stage. But yeah, and then I went in and I auditioned for Chip Lynn and another producer called Jeff, and they got me to do it a few times in both a British and American accent, and that went really well. And then the week later I was told I got the part. And then, like I said, they were just about to begin filming, so there was a little bit of a wait for me because I didn't come in until I think halfway through the season. But yeah, so it was a little bit of a journey to get the role, but obviously I was stoked to get it. Yeah.
Nice. Now that sounds like it sounds like a very interesting journey that you finally got there. But you finally got it. You finally got there.
Totally, I did. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, acting's funny because you kind of, as an actor, you have to match what a producer or a writer has in mind for a character. And I guess what they had in mind for the Prince Ranger, as they called him at that point in time, was what I was kind of putting out in the initial audition. So I'm just lucky that, they watched my tape and thought, we're not going to use him for these characters, but we can use him, later down the track for this character. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Nice. That's what's up. So you got the part of playing Prince Philip, and I'm pretty sure you were really stoked and excited about it. What was your first time like on set?
My first day on set was actually shooting with the second unit. So I don't know if you guys know, but when they shoot Power Rangers, they have two units going. So they have the main shooting unit who shoot the majority of the drama scenes, and then they have a second unit which shoots action. Or like the really tiny little scenes that aren't worth spending, a day shooting on main unit. So I was shooting out at Wainui Quarry, which is a quarry just outside of Auckland that is used quite a lot on Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
You know it?
Oh no, I know it based on it being used a lot. Because they use it almost every season.
Okay, so I was there. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we went out there a few times, but that was my first time shooting was out there, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. I feel like I only shot for like a couple of hours, but we shot all these tiny little scenes of me. I think I was standing behind a rock watching the Power Rangers take on one of the monsters.
I literally just watched that.
Yeah, and so all I had to do was sit there and just. I mean, I wasn't watching anything, obviously, because they were shooting me. But I just had to sit there and like look bewildered or shocked, So it was kind of like it was a baptism by fire for sure. I was kind of like, what's going on? And then within like 2 hours, it was like, sweet, we're done. We've got everything. So that was my first, and I was all on my own. There were obviously no other actors there. So yeah, that was my first day filming. So like I said, it was by fire, but it was fun. It was quick.
Wow. So after that, did you get to do any like martial arts training with the cast or anything like that? Any of that?
Not. You know what? Not really. I feel like I did a tiny bit of fencing training because I can't remember if it made it in, but at one point in the episode where I become a ranger, they kind of spend a lot of time in Prince Philip's castle watching or seeing, and you get to see him do, the things that he goes about doing every day. And they were going to have a sequence of me fencing. But I don't think we ever ended up doing that. I think we just had me fighting a robot or something. I can't remember. But I didn't do a lot of martial arts training, to be honest. I think I came in, the cast were already doing their boot camp thing that precedes the actual shoot by the time I got cast.
Okay.
Yeah, and for the most part, for me, there wasn't really a need. They have obviously the talented and very skilled stunt men and women who can kind of take care of all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I just got to come in and put on a 3-piece suit and do my thing. which is kind of fun.
And a snazzy 3-piece suit that was, I must say.
It was.
Very nice.
So did you get to spend any time with the actual cast at all during the filming, or was it just kind of like, I'm just coming in, doing my thing, and then I leave?
No, we hung out. Yeah, we hung out a bit. I mean, I started at the same time as Davari Santos, who played Sir Ivan. So, you know, him and I we went and saw lots of theatre. Davari loves theatre, and so do I. So we'd go out and watch plays. I think, from memory, some of us went and saw the second Avengers movie.
Nice.
Nice.
We hung out lots, and then at the end of the shoot, like the guys, which is like pretty much the whole cast except for Camille and Claire, we went out for dinner, and you know, and at the end of the shoot, we all had a dinner at Chip Lynn's house. So yeah, no, we hung out a bit. I mean, they all lived together. Lots of them lived together. The cast who were from the States, they lived together, so they obviously spent day in and day out with each other. And of course, I wasn't always shooting because my character did come and go. But yeah, look, we were in each other's lives for, you know, a good amount of that 8 month shooting period. So yeah, they're all awesome. And I've seen, you know, I've caught up with Claire and Davi, and I've seen Ryan Carter, who played Heckle. He's obviously a Kiwi as well. So I've kept in touch with lots of them, and yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's good, because I always kind of wondered as far as like the time you actually would have spent with them, because like you were kind of like in and out of the show a lot. Yeah. So it was just kind of like, how much time did he actually spend with them? But that's good that you actually were with them a lot.
Yeah. But then also I think that after my character was established, or first introduced and then established as a ranger, a lot of what I had to do was a lot of the time I spent was in the Ranger HQ in the base with the whole cast.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I had to do was stand around in those scenes where the whole, like the 10 Rangers are there. So I did actually get to spend a lot of time with the rest of the cast when we were shooting as well. It's not like I was off, you know, it's not like Prince Philip was off on his own. So yeah, no, we got to spend a bit of time together, and they're all wonderful. And I mean, I've worked with James Davies, who played Chase, since then as well. So he still lives in New Zealand. So I've seen him around. So yeah, it's actually a really awesome way to meet people. And I think if you meet the right people, then you'll stay in touch, and you know.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So as far as like a character, what's your thoughts on Prince Philip? Is there anything that you would like to see change or different about the character, or what's your thoughts on him?
That's a tough question, because like I said when we first spoke, I mean, it's been so long now. So, I mean, I liked him. I mean, I liked how flamboyant he was. I liked how dramatic he was. Every time I entered a scene, I got to do so with, you know, lots of flair and panache. And you know, at the beginning, when he first became a ranger, there was a nice little arc there whereby he learned what it means to be a good person and do good things. So I think that was really nicely done. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a show with a large ensemble of characters. So in an ideal world, as time went on, I would have loved to have done more, but it's kind of par for the course that there's only so much time that the show has on screen, and there are so many characters that they have to focus on. Particularly, there are a core 5 there: your Shelby, Tyler, etc., etc. So they do have to kind of hone in on those guys, I think, more closely. But I mean, look, I was just happy to be there. It was fun. Prince Philip was cool. I liked that he had something really specific going on, you know, and he felt different to the rest of the cast of characters. I mean, kind of similar to Sir Ivan, but then Sir Ivan, you know, he was from a completely different era, so he had something different going on for him as well. So I enjoyed Prince Philip. I think it's really fun when you get to dress up in clothes that aren't things that you'd wear in your day-to-day life. And so, like I said earlier, getting to wear that full 3-piece suit, getting to speak in the English accent, it all felt super creative and imaginative. So yeah, it was awesome.
It's amazing.
Oh no, definitely. I think that Prince Philip definitely had an amazing arc, especially at the beginning when he first came. Absolutely. So what do you think Prince Philip will be doing now? If you had to, if you had to guess, what would he be doing now?
That's an interesting question. What would he be doing now? Would he still be Prince?
Oh.
Yeah, he'd still be Prince. He'd still be Prince. I mean, I don't know. I think he'd be doing much the same, but maybe with different motivations. Maybe I think he'd be ruling with a lot more good in his heart and a lot more fairness, which is a really great thing. And yeah, I reckon he probably has the rest of them to come and stay at Xandar from time to time. I think his castle has I mean, he's going to have plenty of space in his castle. He's probably got like 30 bedrooms, so he could have all of them come and stay, and they could have like a sleepover summer party.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I can see that.
I would like to think that he's leading Xandar with heart and with good intentions and good leadership, and that he's inclusive. Yeah. And maybe, maybe doing the odd shift as a Power Ranger.
That's crazy.
When need be. When needs must.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, definitely. Especially he'll probably have like everybody come like to have a sleepover, and then like all the ones who are like from different dimensions, like different time periods, they all come like time to time and just
Totally.
kind of like chill out and hang. That sounds about right.
I like the sound of it.
So
you want to
we're
talk
going to
about
start your series.
Tiger King, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Did you say Tiger King?
I did. I totally just said Tiger King. Oh my god.
Did I play Exotic Joe?
Pardon?
Was I Exotic Joe?
So have you seen Tiger King on Netflix? It's about this crazy...
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I know what it is.
Okay.
And I feel like I haven't watched it because I feel like I know the story because I've heard so much about it.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't bother watching it.
So he literally just said, let's talk about Tiger King. And I went, did you
Tiger
just say
King.
Tiger King?
I'm like, it's the animal king.
It's some animal, monkey, tiger.
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
monkey, tiger. It's one of them. It's one of them.
Honestly, now picture Prince, was Prince Philip in Tiger King? That would be funny.
I hope he wouldn't be as awful as that guy.
No. I think he'd be the exact opposite.
Yeah.
He would do everything to expose this guy.
Totally. I feel like he
God.
would take on Tiger King and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I feel like Tiger King's working for Sledge,
100%. I
No,
agree
seriously.
with that. Seriously. Whenever you said that, I'm done. So what I want to start with is I want to ask you, what is your audition for Monkey King like?
Well, first of all, have you watched the show?
Twice.
Oh my god, amazing. Okay.
Twice?
I haven't gotten to see it yet, unfortunately.
I literally rewatched it last night just so that I made sure I got like your roles
It was
right.
fresh in your memory?
Yeah. Actually, I was shook.
So, okay, well then because you watched it, so I actually auditioned for the character Davari, who's the lead villain in the show.
Yes.
He kind of comes in at the tail end of the season.
Yeah.
So I actually auditioned for Davari.
Wow, okay.
And I mean, it was like a fairly standard audition. We had I think we had like a big speech to do. So I did that. And then, maybe a couple of weeks later, my agent texted me and said, the director loved your audition for Davari, but wants you to put down an audition tape for this role, which is the Font Demon, which is the character that I ended up playing. And so, they sent the sides through, and I got together with a friend, and we quickly filmed something, and I sent it off. And then I think the next week, they told me that I got the part,
That's amazing.
So yeah, I guess it was fairly standard, except for the fact that I didn't actually audition for the character that I ended up playing, which is maybe becoming a trend because after Power Rangers, I ended up playing a completely different character that I didn't audition for in the first instance.
Absolutely, no. What was it like playing the villain? Would you prefer more versus?
Absolutely, I loved playing the villain. Yeah, and I love playing. I mean, you've seen it, so you know what that character looks like. You know how elaborate the makeup and the hair and the costume was. And I obviously, when I auditioned for the character, I didn't know what they had in mind. I mean, I knew that it was set in a fantastical world, and that there were kind of no limits.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I turned up to my first makeup test that they kind of got out a picture, or I think they already had the wig, but they had to fit it to my head. And so at that point, I knew what direction they were going in, kind of like slightly gothic, Alvin, that very kind of refined, demonic, beautiful demon kind of vibe. So at the beginning, I mean, it was tough because, at that point, I'd always looked like myself on screen. When I've sat down in the makeup chair in the past, all I've had to do is have like my hair slicked back and some makeup put on. But this time it was like 2.5 hours in the makeup chair. I'd always be the first one there.
Oh my God.
Putting the wig on took a lot of time because they had to kind of glue it down and then pin it down. And then I had to wear contact lenses, which was, I mean, I've never worn contact lenses in my own life. So that was hard. It was kind of hard to get used to because it not that it was painful, but it just wasn't comfortable. Were you
like one of those that just did it right away, or did it take time? We're like, no.
Well, I feel like as the shoot progressed, we started to kind of, the makeup artist and I started to refine. Like, she knew that I didn't like it. Like, in an ideal world, I wouldn't be wearing contact lenses, but they looked awesome. So what we ended up doing is, like, because often as an actor, you get there in the morning, you go into makeup, you get into your costume, and then you just wait for hours and hours until they get to your scene or your shot or what have you. And so that's what would happen with me is I'd get all dressed up, and then I'd go and sit on a couch and wait for like 5 hours.
No.
And so we the makeup artist and I, we kind of established a process whereby I would only have the contact lenses put in like right before I was about to shoot.
Amazing.
Because that way it just kind of alleviated any discomfort, and because they're so quick to put in.
Absolutely.
But I mean, like, the first time I wore them, I think we went to take them off at the end of the day, and she couldn't find the one that was in my right eye, and we thought, it must have just dropped out, and everything was fine. And I went home, and then later that night I was rubbing my eye, and
it came out.
Lo and behold, it came out. So it like rolled back into my eye. So I mean, it was fun.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
But it took a lot of getting used to the costume makeup. But once I kind of settled in, it was fun.
For sure. I'm not sure if you noticed this, but was your look like Witcher inspired? The Witcher on this TV series with the guy in Man of Steel?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where the inspiration for the look actually came from. I wasn't aware of The Witcher at that point, so it's only now that The Witcher's come out. Because it's a video game, right?
It was a video game. I think it was a series, and then a book series, a video game, and then it turned into a Netflix series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen Henry Cavill as The Witcher, and of course when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's what I look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know who came up with the original look for the Font Demon and where that inspiration came from. I think
that's crazy.
I mean, I guess in all things considered, it's a fairly generic, like the long white hair. I mean, it's kind of, not that it's been done before, but it's a fairly, standard fantasy look.
Yeah.
But you're right. There is a lot of parallels to The Witcher.
Oh my God.
I mean, I got a lot of comparisons to Legolas from Lord of the Rings. People would say I look like an evil Legolas, Orlando Bloom.
Yes.
With his long blonde hair.
But I definitely see. I know I see Witcher more because when I saw The Witcher, I'm like, oh my God, it's that guy
Yeah.
from New Monkey of Legends.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
That's crazy. So what did you
Very
do
similar.
to prepare yourself for this role in comparison to Power Ranger? Like, was there like anything that you need to learn, any new skills, or like, or you, I know we kind of
Yeah, so there was actually a bit of physical stunt training prior to starting filming with this role, because I mean, my character in Monkey King didn't say a lot. He spent a lot of his time physically asserting himself, whether that was through fighting people or so yeah, there was, but I mean, again, they had like an amazing stunt team. But actually, you know what? Like Prince Philip, the character kind of came naturally once I put on the costume. So with Prince Philip, once you put on, a 3-piece suit, you have a ring, you have your hair slicked back, you feel princely, you feel royal. So it's so easy then to channel the character, and that applied to the role of the Font Demon as well. Once I had this long blonde wig on, this massive cape, this kind of leather corset and these big boots, I felt like a demon creep.
So would you consider yourself kind of like a character actor?
I mean, yeah, I guess everything I've done in my career to date has been kind of been quite specific and kind of supporting the lead characters. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind being called that.
Yeah. So I just have to ask, just because when I was even rewatching it yesterday, how many times did you burst into laughter when you're doing your scenes? Because you kept such a straight, like, deadly stare, but while you're mouthing these with all these emotions, but like it was so blank. And so how many times did you burst into laughing while doing those scenes?
You know what? I honestly I don't think I did that much. I feel like it was like a fun set, but I don't feel like I feel like it was just, like I said, once I put on the costume, it came so easily to me, and it just felt right to be so steely and so evil and so deadly. Yeah. So we did have lots of fun. But then again as well, I spent lots of time on that show doing things either on my own or with maybe like one other character, because often I would be standing from afar staring someone down. They would kind of shoot my stuff like at the end. Once they'd got everything else in the scene, they'd then shoot me. Wow. So I kind of just, it was quite easy to channel and channel the energy of the character and feel deadly and yeah. So it was easy. It wasn't difficult to maintain that kind of composure.
Okay, no, I just had to ask, because even as I was watching yesterday, I'm like, oh my god, like that is some intense blank stare.
Yes. And I mean, and you're right, because there's also lots of characters that are super fun and loud in that show. And so there was like a whole lot of us actors. And so like offset when we went shooting, it was crazy, and we had lots and lots of fun. Yeah. And there were lots of jokes being cracked. But when we were on set, I feel like we were all able to channel our characters' respective energies and yeah, but I mean the lead cast, like Chaya Hansen, who played Monkey, and Luciani, who played Chotaka, like they were always, because they spent so much time together, they were always cracking up, and they were always, I'm probably a little bit more like I said, I just knew that my character required this kind of steely composure, and so I just kind of tried to fully commit to that. Yeah,
for sure. So at this point, you've obviously appeared in Power Rangers, and I hope I'm not butchering this, Shannara Chronicles, and of course New Legends of Monkey. Yeah. Which role would you say is your favorite, and why?
That is a really difficult question, because they're all quite different characters and they're all quite different shows. Honestly, I had a really, really great time on all three of those shows. I would love to play the Font Demon again. So I guess of all three characters, the Font Demon is the one that I'd love to revisit. I'd love to put on that wig again. I'd love to put on that amazing costume and see how much further we could push the character, because he was evil and he was nasty, but that's kind of all we really saw of him. So I'd love to explore you know, the other parts of the font demon, maybe the nicer parts.
Well, maybe season 2, right? Because I mean, obviously we got magical powers, and he has come back several times since then. You know.
Totally, yeah.
So I'm just gonna ask you a series of questions. You don't really have to rush into answering them, but I'll start. If you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh my God, this is hard. I always hear these questions in interviews and always think I could never answer those because I would just sit there for hours trying to come up with the perfect 3 people to have dinner with. Okay, oh my God, this is hard. I'm feeling the pressure. If I could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be? Oh my God. I'm gonna say, oh my God, this is so hard.
Well, we can always revisit.
Let's go Jacinda Ardern, who is my country's prime minister.
Okay.
Which is the equivalent of the president of New Zealand.
Yeah.
And 2 more people. Who would they be? Let's say Timothy Chalamet, because I think he's an awesome actor.
Okay.
And then, heck, we might as well just go Barack Obama because he seems really cool.
Right? Oh my gosh, I agree with that one. If you
could... that was stressful. I'm not good at life.
Oh my God. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? And you can actually make one up.
Okay, I'm actually going to go fairly, like, a staple superpower, which is invisibility. I think that would be awesome.
That's a cool power. Yeah. If you could live...
Or flying. It's hard to...
Those are tough.
Right, invisibility.
Yeah, invisibility is really good. Flying, that's a tough one too. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live? And it could be, and your whole family could come with you. So like everyone, your loved ones, your friends, everyone.
I love New York City.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I'd live there.
Okay.
I've been there twice. I mean, look, I wouldn't want to be there right now, but
absolutely not.
No, you don't.
In an ideal world, yeah, I love New York City. But then I've never been to Europe, so I mean, Paris might be cool. But New York I've been there twice and I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. New York has got a little bit of everything, and it's nice.
Totally, and the energy as well. I think because I'm from New Zealand, where everything is fairly slow and it's chill, but New York is like,
fast.
Man, that energy, yeah, totally.
Fast.
It's electric. So yeah,
so
I love
it.
It's so crazy walking in Times Square and just being bumped like every 3 minutes.
So many people, right?
Oh my God, no, every 30 seconds.
Every 30 seconds, yeah.
Like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only difference is like when you bump to Canadian, which would basically me when I was in New York. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm from Philly. I would say, excuse me, but either they just walk past me, or when they would hit me, they wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh gosh.
That's like a Kiwi trait as well. Like in New Zealand, we apologize for everything.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad.
So yeah. So I mean, yeah, you certainly have to adapt or die.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh no.
There's no in between. What is your current favorite TV series or movie or any documentary that you're currently watching that you could share with us?
Well, I've been watching a lot of TV as of late because of, what's happening in the world. What did I like? What have I liked? I mean, I've just watched the 2nd season of The Politician.
Okay.
On Netflix, which is kind of fun. But a TV show that I really liked is Barry on HBO.
Okay.
It stars Bill Hader, and he writes and directs, and he created the show.
Really?
Right. And he kind of plays a professional hitman who decides to segue into acting.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an awesome show, and I really enjoyed that. And I think
Okay, that's
that Bill
good to
Hader
know. I've heard about it, but it totally
Yeah.
slipped off my plate. But yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Would you say you are an audiobook listener or an actual reader?
Is an audiobook differs to a podcast, right? Like an audiobook is
Yeah.
okay, I'm an actual reader.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a reader.
No,
I don't think I've ever listened to an audiobook.
no. It
Yeah.
could be nice when you're doing long road trips.
Yeah,
I've done
okay.
it once. I
I mean,
really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I tend to listen, like I'll listen to a podcast on
Yeah.
on a long road trip, but yeah, I actually hadn't considered listening to an audiobook. It could
so
be a
there
good
you
way
go.
to, yeah.
Yep, I tend to choose it based on my length too, so that way it keeps you going. But yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are you a coffee or tea drinker?
I'm a coffee drinker.
Yes.
Hey!
Team coffee here.
Uh-huh.
Team coffee.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I probably should drink less, but
Nah, you're
I don't know.
fine.
I'm
I'm
fine.
the
It just
only
becomes-
one that doesn't like coffee here.
Yeah, really? I mean, to be honest, it was probably around the time that we were shooting Power Rangers that I started getting into coffee.
Oh.
And, ever since then, it's just, it becomes part of your routine, I think, more than anything.
It does.
And so it's not that you love the taste, it's just that you can't imagine not waking up and drinking it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a big coffee guy.
That's good. Now, I'm not sure if you are, but if you are either or, are you a Marvel or DC person?
Oh, to be honest, I'm probably neither.
Okay.
Like, I haven't seen, like, I don't know, what have I seen? Okay, I've seen Wonder Woman, I've seen Aquaman. Is Birds of Prey DC?
Yeah, they're all DC. So you're a DC.
You know what? I mean, I've seen some. I was just trying to run through what DC films I've seen and what Marvel. I've seen the sporadic Marvel films. I haven't seen a lot of them. Like for example, I've seen the second Avengers film, like I said before, but
Yeah.
none of the others. So you know what? Because I thought Birds of Prey was awesome, I'm going to say I'm a DC guy.
Right? Will and I think the same thing. We really like
It was
Birds
so
of
good.
Prey.
I think it got such a bad rap. It had a
did.
really unfair time.
It really did.
Agreed.
But I thought it
I've
was-
never seen it. I have to see it
wow.
now.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Brandon, where have you been?
You know
No,
what?
I've never seen it.
I probably do need to go back and invest some time in watching the Marvel films because they are beloved films and they're meant to be very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy for people to write off superhero films as just kind of, empty and vacuous and just big overblown kind of loud, films. But I'm aware that there are a lot of people who love them and who really care for the characters, and so yeah, I probably should go back and work my way through them.
We think you would really enjoy them.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was never a
Okay.
big superhero fan either until the whole series of Marvel came along, and
Yeah.
game changer.
Game changer.
Game
Okay. Yeah.
changer.
I need to go back, and because I've only seen, like I said, I've seen really random. Like I've seen the third Thor film, and that's the third one.
Oh no.
I'm like, why have I not seen 1 and 2? So yeah, I probably do need to devote some time to it. But yeah, we'll say DC for now.
Okay, sounds good. If you could be 1H forever, what age would you be? And what I mean by this is like your physical being would be that age forever, but of course, like your mind can still continue and develop and absorb
Okay.
all that the world has to offer us.
Okay. Well, I'm 28 at the moment, so I guess I can't go past 28.
Okay.
So I'd say maybe like I feel like 24 was a good age. I feel like because you're not. I mean, you are in your, I guess, but haven't quite reached your mid 20s, but you're on the latter end of your early 20s.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, if your mind continues to develop, then it'd be great to stay at 24 because I feel like that's a really good physical age to be.
Right? I agree with that.
I can already feel myself getting older, and I'm only 28. I'm starting to go. You start to notice your knee hurting and your back hurting, and you're like, this
For
wasn't
sure.
like this years ago.
I mean, compared to all of us, you're actually the youngest.
Not by that
Yeah, I mean, I
much.
feel like,
Not by that much.
yeah, you guys, I doubt it. I doubt you guys don't look a day over
But you,
50.
it definitely doesn't get easier. I just reached 30 this year. And my sister's like, yeah, you'll lose your collagen in your face. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, you'll lose your metabolism. So yeah, don't eat so much. I'm like, wow, okay. Things you
It's
can't
like
eat.
everything hits at once, right? It's
Yeah.
like you reach a certain age and then it's just like boom. You know, you notice your body failing.
And
You notice yourself aging.
Yes.
and not even just that, but like I can only say this for myself because I don't know have anyone else spoke upon this, but I reflected and I realized that my physical being, I feel the change within me. I know it sounds
Totally.
weird, but like I feel it. Like so I'm
Yeah.
going, holy shit. Like they don't tell you that at 30 you really do feel the inner change as well. Not only obviously
Totally.
on your physical appearance, but definitely on
Totally.
your inner change as well too. So
And I think it's interesting because I feel like when you're younger, you take it for granted, not on purpose, but you don't have to think about those things because you're still so young and vital, and you have so much energy that you never have to consider it. And then suddenly it's like you're fully aware of your aging because you realize it's not as easy to do some, you know, like physical things as it was when you were younger. But you know, I'm turning 30 next year, so I feel your pain.
not there yet. But
I know
wait
it's
till
coming.
You get
I
there.
know it's coming.
Wait till you get there.
Oh yes, when it does, it hits like a train.
It really does. Oh my
I
god.
can't wait.
Can't wait.
I can't wait.
Oh my god. What would you want your legacy to be?
Oh my god, that is what would I want my legacy to be? I guess in broad terms, I'd want to be remembered as a kind person who stood up for, you know, what was right. I don't know. I guess in terms of what I've chosen to do with my life, which is acting. You know, I guess I'm still in the early stages of my career. It's still, you know, it's still a fight. I guess, you know, I'm still auditioning. Like a lot of actors my age or at my level of experience, I'm still auditioning, and it's tough. But you know, I'd love to do work that inspires people, that moves people. I mean, I know that's really vague, and a lot of actors say that, but I guess you just want to do work that means something, that isn't just pointless, futile. And I guess the cool thing about Power Rangers is that there is an inbuilt fan base that really, really cherishes, you know, the work and the people that are involved in the show. Like, until I was involved in Dino Charge, I had no idea of the kind of fan base that Power Rangers had, because like I said, I didn't really watch it growing up. I always knew of the franchise, but I hadn't spent any time like watching it or investing in it. So that's one of the biggest things, I guess, that I've taken away from my time on the show, is coming to learn what it means to so many people. So I guess that's, you know, to an extent, that's really cool, and I've already maybe achieved that in a weird way, just in a weird way, you know.
No.
And the show promotes good things and good values, and people
Absolutely.
love that. So, but yeah, I'd love to take that further in my work and do other stuff as well that is significant.
That's
But
amazing.
yeah,
No, that's good.
Nice. Well, where can everybody find you on social media? Not your house or anything like that, but on social media.
I mean, you have to come to New Zealand for that anyway, and our borders are closed at the moment, so good luck. Where you can find me, I mean, I'm on Instagram, which is just my name, which is Jarred Blakiston, which is probably kind of hard to spell. But I'm pretty sure if you give it a go and punch it into Instagram, you'll come across me. And then I'm on Twitter, but I mean, I use it from time to time, and that's just my name as well, Jarred, at Jarred Blakiston. But yeah, like I said before, I always get messages from Power Rangers fans, and I mean, I don't reply to all of them, but it's always really cool to see them. So don't be afraid to, you know, to message me, and I mean, that's how this came about, right?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I'm still beyond grateful that you replied
Not
and
at all.
accepted it. Oh
Not
my
at all.
god. I think I dropped my
course.
phone and froze and blacked out when it happened.
Really?
I was like, wait, what? This is real life?
Have you, like I said before, I know you've interviewed Claire. Have you interviewed many other Power Rangers actors beyond like Dino Charge?
Yeah. We got we had Christopher Khayman Lee from Power Rangers in Space. Justin
Okay.
Nimmo, also from Power Rangers in Space. We done Ninja Steel, William Shewfelt.
Okay.
Who else? Who else have we done, guys? I'm blanking right now.
Catherine Sutherland,
Nakia Burrise. Yeah.
Okay. So there are plenty of actors involved in the franchise who are willing to get involved.
Yes, and it's
Yeah,
amazing that
Yeah,
they're willing.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you guys are willing to give us the time, the
Ah.
hour to even chat with us. To and it's just amazing. You know, we appreciate it
Yes.
so much.
Oh, not at all.
So much.
Like I said, I haven't done a lot of interviews, so it's nice to kind of reflect on stuff that happened many years ago.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, once again, we do want to thank you for being with us. It was such a pleasure talking to you. We really do appreciate it.
Likewise.
All right. Well, that concludes another episode of Tribunal of the Grid. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye.